Okay, here we go. The Planet Mikey Show.
He's about to get crazy and wild. Stay for a while. Don't touch your radio dial.
Planet Mikey Show.
Kicking it back, sports talk. Listen to that and stay tuned for some giggles and laughs. Go.
The Democratic Party can't define what a woman is. Wants men to be able to play in women's sports. Wants men to be able to use women's restrooms. Wants to remove the term mother and use inseminated person. Yet somehow they feel as though women's rights have been taken away by electing Donald Trump. Can somebody make it make sense for me?
Welcome to the Planet Mikey Show.
I can.
Make sense of it, Mike.
Because I know the difference between a man and a woman. I know what a woman is. I can define woman. I can define it. Okay? And it doesn't have anything to do with inseminated person. How can you imagine saying to your mom, "Happy Inseminated Person's Day, Mom," and giving her some flowers or a box of chocolates? Can you imagine?
They asked
she
Jordan.
would slap you.
They asked Jordan Peterson, "What is a woman?" He said, "Marry one, and you'll find out."
Exactly. Yeah. The other thing is, the Bee Gees sang the song "More Than a Woman." I never found out about that, but a woman. It's simple. It's like the sign on the front of the casino. You know. Poker in the front, liquor in the front, liquor in the front, poker in the rear. That's what they say on the casinos. It says liquor in the front, LIQUOR for you dirty-minded people.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That was me. That was me. I got it.
Yeah, and poker is POKER. One word, not poke her in the rear. Okay, but it's a clever sign.
Thanks for clarifying that, Mike.
Well, it helps you know which back you want, the front or the back of the casino. Right?
Yeah.
So we've gotten a lot done even so far on this final Planet Mikey podcast 1.0.
Episode 303.
Yeah, you know, I just think sometimes you got to say to yourself, what the fuck am I doing?
After 303 episodes, it took you that long to come to this conclusion.
Well, you know, I'm a slow learner, Smitty. That's what it is, you know.
Do you have any, final words you want to impart? This being your last show.
Me?
You feel a little bit of, maybe you should be in
every
church.
Every word I say will be the final words we impart on the. By the way, our audience, God bless them.
Yep.
How many people? How many millions of people? What has it been?
Hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of thousands. Just shy of a million.
Just shy of a million?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of dead.
Everybody
beats.
just sent us $1. Just $1.
Yeah, we could do it for another 5 years. We did it for what? 300 episodes?
303.
Yeah, 303. Pretty good. I think George Scott hit 303 in 1967.
You want to double check that for you?
Yeah, 303. 19 homers.
1967.
Yeah. Okay. George Scott, the boomer. Rest in peace.
I got you here. 1967, he hit 303 with 19 home runs and how many RBI?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Take a guess.
80. I don't know.
82.
Oh. Just so you know, I got nothing in front of me. No cheat sheet. George Scott, March 24th, 1944.
March 23rd, 1944.
You're off.
Okay. Greenville, Mississippi.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Boomer. I know he had me as a first base coach on the Lynn Mad Dogs team when he was the coach of that minor league team, the manager, and he let me be a first base coach for a whole game. With Oil Can Boyd was there. We had the best friggin' time.
I'm sure you and Oil Can did. What year was this?
90s. It was in the 90s.
Oh, you must have had a blast together.
I was in full uni, and Boomer's a hot shit. And I did his last interview with him, and he was in a wheelchair in Greenville, Mississippi. He couldn't walk after he lost the use of his legs. He got old. And he did a great interview, though, on WEEI with Boomer. And I'm pretty sure it was his very last one.
Might have been.
Damn.
God bless him. Anyway.
This being the last podcast, any parting words? Sponsors you want to thank?
I was thinking I would do all farting words.
Really?
Yeah, like,
interesting.
Okay, each fart has a name. Right? That was a thunder spray. This one is a freep. That's a freep.
Yep.
And then you have the you know what? I don't want to get to that now.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
Will you do that on future podcasts?
If there ever is another one.
We want to thank Shawsheen Firearms and My Grandma's Coffee Cake and the good folks at, of course, Pro Automotive for being fine sponsors for us. Although, we never had the intention of getting rich on this podcast, did we?
I know. That was an accident. We all became quite wealthy.
Very, very rich, It's good because I even got a new sweater.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how rich I got.
Is that for your birthday a few days ago?
No, I dug it out of my closet. It's about 10 years old. Oh. I don't have new clothes. I don't have a wardrobe allowance. I just go through life comfort and speed. That's all I care about. Anyway, Bill Smith.
Yep.
Ben Kitchen.
Yep.
I like to call him BS and BK in the lighter moments. My favorite expression is "so what." Yep. I'm going to say it again today. So fucking what?
Oh, yeah. Emphasize. Right? Yeah. Jeez.
I made a note here, but the request has been denied to play that song about camel toe. And I understand why. We have women that listen to this podcast.
It's true.
How many, Ben?
12.
12. Out of the hundreds of thousands of listeners.
I think it was like 820,000.
They are hardy souls,
listeners.
Those women.
12 women.
12 women.
Yeah. And I think that came from each of ours once and said, no, I'll say
12 good women.
At least they were over 12.
I get this at home.
Like Jerry Lee Lewis. By the way, birthday today, a guy I interviewed while I was at NECN in the 90s in their conference room. It was just me and him and a cameraman. Ric Flair.
Woo!
76 years old today.
I just saw him the other day. There was a picture of him. He looks great.
Well, he always looked old because he had the white hair, going and all that. And the interview, I didn't really, give a shit at the time. But everybody said, well, you interviewed Ric Flair. They were all like, oh, Ric Flair. And I'm like, yeah.
It's also the birthday for your third favorite Beatle.
George Harrison.
Yes.
George was born in 1943.
Yes.
February 25. He died of cancer, tragically.
All those things are true.
He was a good guitarist, not much of a writer. He had some good songs. Although they say one of his great hit records was stolen from the Chiffons. He's So Fine, My Sweet Lord. It is the same song.
They charged him with psychological, I think that's the term, plagiarism.
Psychological plagiarism.
Yeah. Because he claims that, I wasn't thinking about that song when I wrote it. And they said, well, apparently you did, or you were thinking of it.
Well, and he should have said, why don't you go fuck yourself then? And that's what he should have said.
I think he did. Yeah.
He died too early. Of course, John Lennon did too. Ringo is like 80. He'll be 85 in October.
Yep.
And John would have been 85 in October. No, I'm sorry. Ringo's July 7th. Ringo would be 85. Is going to be 85 in July. And Paul McCartney
would be. Do you know something?
Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney's out there doing. He's 83. He'll be 83 in June.
Yeah.
He's out there doing 3-hour shows. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He lives to do this stuff, and he's still got energy. His voice is a little more dicey than it ever was.
Yeah, he can't quite hit those notes, so that what they do is they tone down an
octave.
A note, yeah.
It's like, the long and winding road. Hey, Jude. I can't hit the high notes. But he's an amazing lifelong producer. I mean, the things that he's come up with and done and the songs he's written and sung and the crowds he's been in front of, remarkable. Iconic musician of our generation, Paul McCartney.
Sorry for causing that 5-minute detour.
Wasn't it 5 minutes? It's about 2.5.
Yeah?
Yeah, big fucking deal. This is our final podcast. What do you give a shit?
I don't.
See?
God. Final podcast. I think back to all those 302 others.
I think of them all the time.
All the guests we've had and all the exciting moments.
We have had good guests.
The very best episode was the one
Ben
where
didn't get any of them.
You
but
brought those pistachios in here that...
Oh, remember the worm?
The worms.
Oh, the worms.
Yeah, for people that weren't around for that episode. And That's because it disappeared.
That was a missing episode. Yep.
It was. We opened up pistachio nuts, and there was a worm.
Hold on. Here's the story. Mikey says, I love pistachios, and I'm watching TV the other night, and I'm looking for a snack. So I find, hey, look at pistachios. He said, I've been eating them for about a half hour, and I suddenly realized they
were chewy.
Feel a little soft.
They were chewy. Too chewy.
And then you looked in the bag, and you saw
that each of the pistachio nuts had within the shells, they were not the shelled kind, obviously. Inside each shell was a little green worm. And it was hibernating or having babies or laying eggs or taking a shit. We don't know what the worm was doing inside there, but it was really gross.
Mikey says, I'm going to bring that bag to the podcast and show everybody.
Let's bring it to Bill's studio.
And what does he do?
He infests that place.
He spills it. It went everywhere, all over the floor and everything.
The one worm that was trying to get away, remember, crawling across the table?
Yeah, heading towards Ben.
Anyway, so that was the
best episode ever.
Most appetizing episode. Yeah, no question.
And it never happened.
Nope.
Now, for the sake of because this could effectively be the end of my broadcast career. We don't know.
No chance of a comeback?
Well, I've had so many ends to my broadcast career and then comebacks that I don't know. There could be another one, but I'm getting old,
Every ending is a new beginning, Mike.
I mean, they didn't call me back for the underwear modeling gig, and I'm getting old. Okay, let's face reality here. You can just look at me and tell. So I'd like to thank, in my career, the 10 or 12 people that have really advanced my career.
Hold on. This deserves a little emotional support. You ready? Go ahead.
1973, as an 18-year-old wannabe disc jockey, I went to WINF in Manchester, 1,000 watts day, 250 at night, and I did the midnight to 6 shift. And the guy that was there training me was Jay Diamond. Twitchy Jay. He was very twitchy. That'll happen when you use 1 bottle of Dristan, a whole pack of Camels, and 6 cups of coffee in a single radio shift. Twitchy Jay. Taught me everything I know. Sort of. He's the one that said to me, after my first audition, reading the news, I said after it, oh, yeah, eager beaver. How'd I do? He goes, don't yell. That's all he said to me. I listened to the tape. I was yelling. In Hartford today, the devil. I was like, it's just a rookie. I didn't know. It's like you're not doing school announcements. That's how he sounded. 1974, Jim Boulderbook at Wacky 102 FM. It was automated at the time. I had to do a lot of production with him. He taught me everything about production that I could possibly know as a 20-year-old. He was really, really good at his job. In 1975, I got hired at a real radio station, Dick Springfield. The program director hired me and made a big difference in my life. Took me from $2.50 an hour to $5 an hour in one big move, man. He's a guy that was responsible for Howard Stern going to New York, Dick Springfield. He was programming down there, but that was much later. He's no longer with us. 1976, I'm at 91Q, and I was doing nights, and I was really frustrated because nights. Ted Dallacou, the morning man, suggested upon his departure he went to KSD in St. Louis, and he recommended me to replace him. What was I? I was 23.
Damn.
And I'm doing mornings now in Hartford Market. I'm thinking, because he recommended me. It didn't last long, but it was a move up. Also, WCCC in Hartford. Yep. Brian Watkinson, who is the overnight guy, great guy. He's been up in Maine for years, really good friend. And Country Paul Payton, who's no longer with us, he was the program director. We used to smoke a lot of bones together. Good guy. I went to Hartford at Channel 3. Bill Patrick, no question about it. He advanced, helped. He taught me everything about TV I needed to know to get the job there. He a little dicey later on, and as friends, it got a little weird because he was, I don't know, didn't matter. But I thank him for what he did to give me the team. And Mark Efron, who had the balls to put me on the air on Channel 3 in Hartford. I had no TV experience. I mean, come on. That's a job that I didn't deserve to have. And if you see the old video of me on that show, you'd say, yeah, you look like shit. I was long-haired, goofy, droopy-ass mustache. I looked like shit. But he still put me on the show, so I thank him for that.
I bet you looked cool, though, back in the day.
Yeah. I guess if you're in some dive bar, I looked all right. If it's 3 a.m.
You didn't look like a member of Three Dog Night.
No.
He looked like the third dog.
No more than 2 dogs with that. When I went to NECN, Eric Evangelista, of course, he's been on the podcast with us. Tremendous, very, extremely talented producer.
Yep.
And that show was successful that I had there because of him, really. And Charlie Kravitz, who also had guts to put it on the air, unlike Phil Balboni, who I don't think even has any nuts. Charlie did. He was great. And I want to thank both of them. Jason Wolf, of course, grabbed me off the scrap heap. Got me back on the air again.
The Wolfman.
That was another of my 14 comebacks. You know, you don't have to make a comeback if you don't fuck up the first opportunity.
That's true. But as they say, it's not that you fall down. It's the fact that you have to get back up and move forward.
Dick Robinson, he was always a very loyal guy and very, very friendly to me and helpful to me. Bill Lee, the spaceman. Some of the best broadcasts I've ever done have been with him as a guest, and he's been countless times on the podcast. And I won an Emmy for the TV show that I had, one of the ones he was on. The guests on my 2 Emmy Award-winning shows at NECN were Russ Francis and Bill Lee. You know, so I got to say thanks to him. And Bill Smith, I don't know who he is. He's just some dude.
I know him.
I like that guy.
He's a good guy.
It's timeless. I think he's a vampire.
Also, I should say Dick Radatz. You know, I was thinking about him because in what's today? March? Is it March 1st? No, your birthday's March. What is it today?
February 25th.
On March 16th, it'll be 20 years since
Wow.
Dick Radatz died.
20.
20 years.
Seems like, God.
I was thinking about him, and because someone sent a tweet out asking about the monster being, how would you rank him in all-time relievers? And so I found a list. Now, these are Red Sox pitchers only in the history of the Red Sox, right? Fewest hits per 9 innings pitched. In other words, 9 innings is the standard, because a reliever doesn't pitch as many innings as a starter, right? But per inning pitched, per 9 innings pitched, fewest hits. This is the top 10. Number 9 is Cy Young. He's 9th on the Red Sox list of fewest hits per 9. Number 8 is Roger Clemens. You got Mickey McDermott, Dutch Leonard, Carl Mays. Smokey Joe Wood is number 4, legendary guy. Number 2 is Pedro Martinez. And number 1 is Dick Radatz.
How about that?
He gave up 6.7 hits per 9 innings over his career in a Red Sox uniform. And Pedro had 6.8. So they were very close. But, I mean, that just shows you how dominant he was back in the day. He was the first big leaguer I ever met, 1964. I got to hang out with him a lot at the fantasy camp in 1987. He and Gary Bell they were the show. They were the 2 funniest bastards in the fantasy camp. He was my radio partner. One day we took a ride down to Connecticut and to visit my parents. He drove his Lincoln Continental. We went down there just so I would freak out my dad. My dad's down in the basement watching TV, and my mother's down there. She didn't, but I would come walking down the stairs like, oh, hey, Dad, look who's here. And he looks up. He's like, what? When Radatz comes down your stairs, you know it.
Oh, yeah.
How big was he? How tall was he?
6'6", but he weighed, when he played, he weighed 260 something. But when he stopped playing, he weighed 360 something.
He's like Godzilla, that
He
guy.
was huge.
Yeah.
Anyway, and Shar, his wife, told me at the service when Dick passed away, he said, the monster loved you.
Yeah.
I said, that's the only monster that ever loved me? Can't put a friendly ghost? No, it was a good feeling to hear that. Also, somewhere I have the box score and the scorecard from the first game I ever saw at Fenway Park, where Radatz got the save. It was a doubleheader. He got the save in both ends of the doubleheader, the first game and the second game. That's why he was so great. He'd pitch both ends of the doubleheader. He didn't care. Let's see. So that's. Did I thank everybody?
I don't know. This being the final show, are you sure you've got everybody covered?
I don't really know. I mean,
The
there's
last
so many people. There's
Planet Mikey
I could go through a
podcast.
list of people who I can't fucking stand that I worked with in radio. Who are the top 3? Go ahead. Who would you guys know me pretty well.
I know you don't like Mutt.
Mutt's on there.
I know you don't like Kirk.
That's 2.
And
Female.
Leslie Gold.
The radio.
There it is, the radio chick.
Bitch.
Those are your 3.
They just-
I had other names running through my head, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you?
Yeah.
Who else? Go ahead.
A man named Bob.
Oh, Bob Goodell?
Yeah.
No, that was a meaningless gig anyway. I was there for a year.
Yeah,
You fucking hate him.
I was there a year in COVID, but it's the way he handled it. That's all.
And you were number 1 in the market.
It's just he handled it so poorly.
Have they ever matched those numbers, by the way?
I had to
since,
hear about it from the streets. But no, Mistress Carrie, who took my spot there, who's also been on this podcast, she's now going to Springfield to do morning radio. I read it on LinkedIn or something.
Springfield, what? WSPR?
And I don't know, some, shithole out there. I don't know. I worked at 4 radio stations in Springfield. I was program director at 2 of them. That's why they were shitholes. All right, now we got some news. You want some news?
Did you say news, Mike? Let's try that again.
Peggy Flem.
Hey, I got one for you. I got one. You ready?
What is it?
A grocery store employee in Keene, New Hampshire has been arrested for allegedly urinating on food products and filming the act over a 4-year period. Her name is Kelly Tedford, 23 years old.
Oh, it's a woman.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Then so what?
She's a pretty girl. She was taken into custody after anonymous tips led police to disturbing videos that she had posted online of herself peeing on the vegetables.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's a real peon.
So they... And anyway, the store has taken the appropriate action,
gross.
and they're disinfecting everything.
What was the name? I'm going to go back and demand a rebate. I'm going to bring like a bag of chips.
They were they were for some food co-op, Monadnock Food Co-op.
Monadnock.
Monadnock.
Oh, that's like when I'm running when I'm naked running. My nads knock against each other all the time.
Well, okay.
Monads knock.
And now more news.
And now the news.
With Mike.
2 men from Colorado were taken into custody in Louisiana after authorities uncovered their plan to launch illegal substances over a federal prison fence using an air cannon. Oh. You know those things on a golf course and you shoot the golf ball and the guy's amazing with it. So they're doing that now. Jose Francisco Herrera Munoz, age 18, and Angel Gonzalez Gutierrez, 19, arrested near the Federal Correctional Complex in Pollock, Louisiana, before they carried out their smuggling attempt. Law enforcement officials found them with $112,000 worth of tobacco and $89,000 in methamphetamine, intended for inmates.
Wow.
That's a lot of drugs for just some inmates. Boom, right over the wall.
What do they have to do?
Here goes my meth. Here goes my meth. The device that they intended to use is often seen at sports events, launching professional items into the crowd. T-shirts, for example, the model found in their possession had the capability to fire objects over 350 feet, which is more than a football field, making it an effective tool for clearing security barriers. I'll keep that in mind. It's going to be my next gig.
Imagine those guys when they were trying it out. So a little rehearsal before the night of the big, whatever you call it, the transfer.
Yeah.
So they're out there practicing and putting the stuff in there. But what would the population of the prison be like if they were all methed out? That would be insane.
Yeah. Hey, man, this is no good. I got ripped off. What is it? Oh, it's just some guy's sock.
It's a T-shirt.
Munoz and Gutierrez were booked into the Grand Parish Detention Center and charged with attempting to introduce contraband into a penal institution. That's better than introducing your penal into and attempting to distribute methamphetamine. Munoz also facing additional immigration proceedings. Who would have ever thought that?
Yeah.
He's in the country illegally. He's been placed on an ICE detainer, which means Tom Homan is going to have a crack at sending him back. Do you love Tom Homan or what?
Did you hear him at CPAC the other day?
I love Tom Homan. What did he say?
I read a story last night. The police commissioner of Boston. You said you doubled down on not helping the law enforcement officers of ICE. I'm coming to Boston. I'm bringing hell with me.
Did you have that sound where he said, "I don't give a shit"?
Oh no, I missed that. But I heard him say
you heard
it,
him
though.
say it.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't give a shit. And then he goes, I wake up every morning, people don't like me. I don't give a shit. The guy is unbelievable.
Yep.
He's like a bull in a china shop or something. I don't know. That's probably the bad comparison. I don't know if he knocks stuff over.
He might.
He's uncoordinated. I don't know. He's good at his job, though. And I love the guy. He's focused on one thing.
He's uncoordinated.
He's bringing hell with him.
But, I mean, maybe he's got really big feet.
Stealing
You never see
lines
his
from
feet.
Tombstone.
Now, you guys have crypto?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have Superman's dog?
that's right.
His is with a K. This is with a C. This next story.
Oh, I don't
and
have
now
that.
I hate when they tease a story and they go, "Coming up, how much you could have lost on crypto," and then you go to a 4-minute commercial, and the crypto guy's at home going, "What? Ready to kill himself. Ready to kill himself. I would never kill myself. I've got too much to live for." All those beautiful cheerleaders that are staying at my home for wayward cheerleaders. They're beautiful. They need me to. They need me to fix their webcams.
You're the guru, Mike.
All right, so anyway, crypto, yeah. Okay, never before has a platform for buying and selling crypto lost a 10-figure dollar sum
Wow.
in a single heist. Yeah, $1.4 billion was stolen on Friday. Thieves hacked the Ethereum-based holdings of Bybit, B-Y-B-I-T. According to an estimate, $1.4 billion, the largest crypto theft of all time. See, I don't trust any of that bullshit, the crypto stuff. It's fake coins. It's people making stuff
not
up.
even coins. It's
Right, but
it's nothing.
They're making stuff up. The value in it, it's like air. You're selling air. It's not like selling radio advertising commercial. You're selling air, but at least you can hear it. This is like, would you ever? I would never put any money in crypto. I just don't think
I have some.
You do?
Yeah, just in case.
Has it gone up?
Yeah.
How much?
I mean, it fluctuates a lot, but I'm
there
probably up
you
about
have it.
30%.
But it's up and down all the time, right? Now,
Yeah, it's
after
volatile.
After this 1.4 billion, it may go down, right?
I mean, it's been going down for the last few days.
Yeah.
Really, like a $5 hooker.
Well, essentially everything's been going down over the last 4 or 5 days. The entire stock market.
Not the
stock market just
Titanic.
went-
That went down. I know. All right. You want more news?
More news. And now more news with Mike Adams.
A confessed killer institutionalized after murdering a homeless man and eating parts of his body
Oh.
in a Connecticut cemetery could soon be walking among us again. Local politicians are none too happy about it. Tyree Smith, this guy, and I saw a picture. He looks just like a cannibal. If you think of a cannibal
Yes.
in your mind, okay, picture it.
Okay, I see it.
And then that's what he looks like.
A bone in his nose.
No. He spits the bones out.
Okay.
He doesn't snort them. Tyree Smith, dubbed Cannibal Killer by local journalists, was granted a conditional release Friday. Can you believe that? By the Nutmeg State's Psychiatric Security Review Board, meaning he'll be allowed to leave the Connecticut Valley Hospital in Middletown for supervised jaunts. This is a cannibal, a murdering cannibal.
Jesus.
Okay. They're going to send WFSB, where I used to work, reported the story. The decision was made after doctors who've been treating Smith said he's fully rehabilitated thanks to medications that quelled the voices in his head.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the voices in his head were like, oh, what? What? Eat the guy? Eat his brain? Oh, okay. His eye, too? I mean, what kind of voices in your head tell you to kill someone and then eat them?
You got to be pretty hungry.
At least. Anyway, Senator Paul Ciccarella said he doesn't buy the fact that the guy's rehabilitated. And he says, quote, murder and cannibalism and release in the same sentence, that's a problem.
You know what they say is once a cannibal, always a cannibal.
Well, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember the cannibals, two cannibals talking, one of them says, you know, God, I hate my mother-in-law. The other one says, so eat the vegetables.
I've actually never heard that one before.
In 2013, Smith was committed to the Connecticut Valley Hospital for 60 years after a 3-judge panel found him not guilty by reason of insanity, which I understand that, in the 2011 killing and cannibalization of Angel Gonzalez, age 43, a homeless guy. Smith admitted to killing Gonzalez, who was homeless. I just said that. With an axe, with an axe in an abandoned home in Bridgeport before removing parts of his brain, one of his eyeballs, and several organs, and eating them.
Oh, yeah.
He consumed the body parts at Lakeview Cemetery, washing them down with sake. Now, that's just... Sake will never be the same.
That's right.
Right?
I'm putting that up with cashews, or not cashews. What was it again?
Pistachios?
Pistachios.
Oh, yeah. Pistachios. That was quite the adventure here. I guess that's the news. I don't have any. There's no sports.
You don't want to talk about Don Lemon or Megan Kelly?
I'm glad you reminded me of Don Lemon, because Don Lemon, first of all, he's not on CNN anymore.
Correct.
Because he's a douchebag. Mm-hmm. He's doing little video thing. I think he sits at his desk. It's probably what I'll be doing in a month from now. He sits at his desk, talks into the camera, and talks about different topics. His latest topic was, I think, Megan. Was it Megan Kelly?
Yeah, Megan was very happy that Joy Reid was finally let go,
as we all were.
Yeah,
because Joy Reid was a hateful, racist moonbat.
Joy said her program had value.
Yeah, in her pocket only. And then when you watch it, you go, what's with her? She was nasty. Gutfeld was funny, He said, they showed a picture of her, how she had all the different hairstyles and all the different wigs. He says, Joy Reid has been let go from MSNBC. And then they showed a picture of a bunch of wigs like on a path in the woods. He says, and all her wigs were released back into the wild.
Oh man, that's pretty good.
His show is pretty goddamn funny. So anyway, so she gets fired, and everybody's, because she was a mean-spirited, bad person, nasty. She got fired, okay, because her numbers went down like 28% or something like that.
Yep.
So now Megan Kelly, and she had said a lot. She always, Joy Reid always referred to white people. Because white people, white women, everything was about white, black, white. God damn it, it was tiring. So Megan Kelly said something like,
"Let's talk about Joy Reid." I'm so torn. I'm thrilled she's gone. She literally was the most racist person on television. Her and her most favorite guest, Ellie Mistal. So they deserve 100% both to be fired. But, it's like we won't have her to kick around anymore. And there's a little sadness in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Total sadness. So then Don Lemon says, okay, he hates Megan Kelly. He says she's racist.
To Megan Kelly, in my 30-some years as a journalist and my 50-some years as a person of color, go f*** yourself.
You imagine that? Little Donnie?
I usually don't like to talk about her because she's one of those people. She thrives on it. She has built the second part of her career on being a troll.
That's Don Lemon, and he was alluding to the fact that Megan Kelly says she's all for women and all that other stuff, and then he says that that's not being for women and whatever. Starts yelling at her about the woman part of her performance, and like Don Lemon actually knew a woman once before he realized he didn't like it. And then he became Don Lemon, and he's just an asshole. I mean, he's always been an asshole.
Always complaining. It's always the same thing.
And his ego. I mean, all the different stupid things. Remember, he had drunk New Year's Eve, and
he
he's
had to
proposing
remind you in that
marriage
clip
to
that he's black.
Yeah. Okay.
Nobody knew that.
Identity.
He's black.
Yeah, he's black.
Identity politics will be the death of us. So I'm getting old, and this is the last podcast, at least for a while. Maybe we come back and have a reunion show in 6-7 years, or maybe we should do a different thing. We could do the shows nude. We could get some women in here and make them be nude.
What sins have you committed?
Not make them be nude.
On
easy.
This podcast, what sins have you committed?
Ask them if they would do it for big money.
Please.
What's that?
No.
What'd you say, Smith?
I'm not going to say it again.
He was talking about
Never
nudity.
mind. Nope, I don't want to hear it.
Talk about nudity.
No, it's too late.
What'd you say? Come on, we want to hear it because you're
I was
Smitty.
wondering if you look back on the 302 podcasts that preceded this one, do you have anything that's happened?
Are you recording?
Yeah, that you regret things you've said, maybe things that you'd like to repent.
Yeah, blowing my nose on the air was a
that's
big
one of
mistake.
those things. Yeah.
You know, ever since I stopped cocaine 25 years ago and got my nose broken 9 times, I've had an issue on the left side of my nostrilic membranes. That's why I have to blow my nose once in a while.
True,
Right?
true confession.
You know, I'm going to be
style
like
stuff.
Aqua along with snot is running down his nose. You know, that. By the way, that whatever happened to Jethro Tull, the band, Ian Anderson, whatever happened?
I don't know. They went the way of all the good bands.
Are they dead? Is he dead?
Ian?
You got to ask these days.
No. Last I heard, he had.
I mean, Tom Petty's dead.
He had a side business of raising salmon on a salmon farm.
Sam Dave.
He is 77 years old.
God bless him. He's a young guy.
Yeah.
By the way, happy birthday. I got to say this now. I didn't just think of this, but I thought of it before the show, but I forgot. Happy birthday to both Bill Smith
Thank you.
and my wife, Christine, who February 23rd birthdays. And Ben Kitchen will be 18 on the 1st of March.
I can't wait to vote.
That's good.
18.
Just remember, vote Democratic, or your family will disown you.
I am from Massachusetts.
So what am I going to do? I have when I get even a slight touch of any kind of depression, I always say I got to do something different.
Do you think you're having a
I
bout
wear
with
dresses
depression now? Are you depressed now, Mike?
I don't know, but I'm not depressed enough to say pretend to jump on a railroad track and get run over by a train or something stupid like that. I'm not that depressed.
So you're just feeling you got like the blues?
There's a lot of stuff going on that isn't going on, and I'm not getting any better looking. That's one thing. It's hard when you stop in a mirror and go, "Oh God," That's when you know there's something wrong with your mirror. I'm thinking of things I could do. I say, could I come up with 20 minutes worth of funny shit and do stand-up comedy, even if I bombed? I could open for guys who were going to bomb too. I could, if you open for somebody and they bomb and you bomb first, it's like they forgot that you bombed. By the time he's up there, the headliner, and he bombs, right? She. So it'd just be fun to do, get me out on the streets. And, plus, I have a reputation for, flashing body parts when I'm up on a stage. I don't know if you remember.
Well, you did tell us about the tattoo that you have.
So I have 4 great movie ideas. 2 of them are absolute winners. Mm-hmm. I got to find somebody that has connections in the movie. My brother John worked at HBO for 27 years. You think he'd hook me up, right? Netflix. I got 2 really, really good movie ideas. I'm telling you. I thought, maybe I should do. We've discussed this in the past, Ben. Going to the gravestones, the burial plots of famous people, and turning a camera on yourself, smoking a joint, and talking about that person for a couple minutes, eloquently, of course.
While you take a shot of the
headstone. You're smoking a bone, and the feature is called. It's a YouTube feature. Mm-hmm. It's called Gravestoned.
Look at that.
Yeah.
See?
And you say, "Oh, okay, I'm at the grave of Don Amici." You might remember him from The Love Boat. You have clips and everything.
And he was the Joker in Batman, wasn't he?
That's Cesar Romero.
That's who I meant.
Yeah. We could go to his grave too.
It's okay.
I think.
Who did we go to?
Tony Canigliaro.
We did another one.
John Cassell from The Godfather. Yeah. They're both still dead. We could go back. Anyway.
How long? That was like 7 years ago.
Yeah. Well, again, that's when you lose a job, you don't have one. You find, I got to do something, right? But gravestone would be good because anywhere you go, before you go somewhere on a trip, you're going to Hampshire, you're going to, Ohio, you say, who are some of the famous graves that I could drive to with a video camera? You don't even need a shooter. You just set it up on a tripod and you talk about this guy. Then you put it on YouTube, you go, Gravestone, episode 46. Mikey visits the grave of Eleanor Rigby.
Please be sure to subscribe to this channel.
She's not dead. Aunt Margaret's still alive. Anyway, that's an idea, right?
It's an idea.
I think I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna get myself all bulked up. Maybe do some steroids. Gonna go out and kick the shit out of people in bars late at night, like I used to. Golf. I love golf.
Yeah.
Travel.
Golf. Yeah.
spending time with my adorable wife and my kids and maybe my grandkids if I'm allowed to. Hey, here's an idea.
What's that?
I think I should do this. This would be a great feature. I'm going to become an illegal alien. I'm going to go to Haiti, pretend I'm an illegal alien, come back here, get free EBT cards, hotel, food, medical, legal advice, diapers for the kids, although they're a little too old for diapers. But when you go and you come as an illegal alien from Haiti, you get everything free.
So you're moving to Quincy?
No, but but I got to go to Haiti first, don't I?
Yeah, you have to go there first.
So I can arrive on some
sneak
banana
back in. Yeah,
some banana boat. But that's a good idea, right? Becoming
And then do the stand-up after.
Yes, with stories.
So now you have, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect.
Stories.
Look at that.
Yep. Yeah, but you could I could just go to the Holiday Inn in Marlborough and get the stories. You know?
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, they don't just leave. You know, the Haitians, once they get in there and they get the free shit, they don't just say, "Okay, I'm gonna leave now."
Yeah.
Oh no, you're not, because you don't have any place to live. And plus, you don't get more free shit.
Don't forget to vote.
Maybe I could do a monthly podcast. You know, like I know the June edition of, and then I could have like a whole month to prepare, to get good guests, to work on some new outfits.
Here's what happened in June with Mike Adams.
Yes, what I did last summer. Things I did last summer.
That's it.
Maybe I could do an overnight radio shift. See, here's the thing. Now that you can do radio from your house technologically,
Yes.
there's got to be stations that say, what are we going to do from midnight to 6 in the morning? I'm up. I'm over here. I'll do it. What do you talk about?
Well, that's half the quotient. Is that what I'm looking for success?
Yeah.
The formula for success is just to be available.
To fill a need.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So what's your station's format? Oh, we do Portuguese polka music.
I can do
that. Piece of cake.
Yeah.
Overnight radio. I mean, and plus you can get away with anything because nobody fucking hears you.
Except the cool people.
Except the really cool. What was that? What was the Art? What was his name? Art. The overnight.
Art Bell.
Art Bell.
Yeah.
I mean, people were so loyal to that guy's show. I don't know. Did he ever get paid anything? Did he make good money?
I don't know. He did well.
I think he made millions. That show was hugely popular.
Yep.
Well, in any
Terrible,
event,
but popular.
thanks to you guys. It's been fun, and I'm going to my last bucket thing is I really really want to get my picture on the cover of the Rolling Stone. I don't believe it, Sugar. Hey, Sugar, tell them who we are. Well, we're big rock singers. We've got golden fingers, and we're loved everywhere we go. We sing about beauty, and we sing about truth at $10,000 a show.
Yeah, we take all kinds of pills, Joe, all kinds of thrills, but the thrill we've never known is the thrill that'll get you when you get your picture on the cover of the Rolling Stone.
Want to see my picture on the cover? Want to buy 5 copies for my inseminated person? Want to see my smiling face on the cover of the Rolling Stone?
That's a very good idea. Good one, Joe. I got a freaky old lady named Cocaine Katie who embroiders on my jeans right in the front. And my poor old daddy, gray-haired daddy, he's driving my limousine, Joe.
Now, it's all designed to blow our minds, but our minds won't really be blown at Shaw's.
Like the blow that'll get you when you get your picture on the cover on the Rolling Stone.
Want to see our pictures on the cover? Want to buy 5 copies for your inseminated mother? Want to see my smiling face
on the cover of my big long bone? Yeah, I know. Rock and roll.
Here we go.
Play it, Joe.
We got a lot of little teenage, blue-eyed groupies who will do anything we say. We got a genuine Indian guru, who's teaching us a better way.
We got all the friends that money can buy, so we never have to be alone. We keep getting richer because we can't get our picture on the cover of the Rolling Stone, Joe.
Want to see my picture on the cover, True?
Want to buy 5 copies for your inseminated one? Want to see my smiling face?
On the cover of the Rolling Stone. Can you believe it?
Oh, is it my turn? I was rolling bones.
Right out front, man. I can see it now. Be on the front smiling, man. All beautiful.